Om Satchidananda Parabrahma Paramatma Purushottama Sri Bhagavati Sameda Sri Bhagavate Namaha. May the one who is all, who is in whom is all, bless us to be successful, happy, peaceful, and prosperous. Dear devotees, today I am once again going to take up for discussion a question that has come up from one of our devotees. The question he has asked is, Guruji, can you tell us how the wisdom of the Vedas will help us to succeed in life? Why and how the science of Vedas will make our life successful? This is the question. I consider it to be a highly relevant question as we are interested that all our devotees should succeed in life. I am taking up this subject for discussion. First, let us understand Veda is not a religious document. It is a pan-religion, pan-region wisdom document. It is applicable whether you are a Hindu, Muslim, or a Christian. It is applicable whether you are in India or America or in Europe. Second, it is not a ritual document. Though unfortunately, people have thought that it is a document for Hindus as well as it is a document for doing some rituals. It is not a ritual document. It is a esoteric document. The verses are algebraically coded, so therefore being misunderstood. The Vedic language is not even in Sanskrit. At best, you can call it as Vedic Sanskrit, but it is in a much earlier language called Brahmic Grantha. There, the words had several meanings, and several words had one meaning, and every word had meanings at different levels, at physical level, mental level, and spiritual level. An uninitiated person will take the meaning at the physical level and come to some conclusion. But that is not what the Vedas intended. During the Vedic age, this problem was not there. They could understand what the Vedic terminology meant. For example, let us take the Agnihotra ceremony. In that Agnihotra ceremony, the prayer goes, that is, I am invoking Lord Agni and I am offering clarified butter, that is ghee, as oblation. And I pray to you, Lord Agni, to give me good cows and horses. On a plain reading, people will think, in fact, that is what it has been presented to be, particularly by the Britishers, that this is such a mundane document. We are getting into a bargain with God. that I am giving you ghee, you give me cow and horse. But that is not what the Vedas mean. Here, what the real meaning of this Agnihotra ceremony and of these verses are that I am invoking the Agni, that is, I am invoking my intellect. Agni, the fire element, resides in our intellect. I am invoking that intellect. And I am pouring clarified butter, that is my pure thoughts, that is I am purifying my thoughts like the butter is purified, clarified. I am pouring in my clarified thoughts, and in turn I am seeking from you, as a result of this effort, wisdom. Cow means wisdom in the Vedic Sanskrit, and I am asking for strong, able, vital forces, that is horses. In Vedic Sanskrit, horses means vital forces. So, the real meaning of this Vedic verse is I am invoking my intellect and pouring my clarified thoughts, and in turn, please grant me wisdom and vital powers. How glorious it is! What an amount of wisdom the rishis would have had to ask for this. But unfortunately, this is buried under the ritualistic interpretation. Same is the case with many of the Vedic practices. When Veda says yajna, it means to share what you have with others. That is, do things for the welfare of other beings with whatever you have. It quotes the tree as the classical example. In fact, there is a separate video I have put up on the science of trees. Tree is the classical example of sharing what it has for the others. Tree is an Yajna Purusha. So, Yajna means share what you have for the welfare of others. Tapas means deep concentration. So, these are all the meanings of the Vedic verses, but misinterpreted. So, Veda is not a ritualistic statement. The height of misinterpretation we can see in Hinduism as Pasubandhana Yajna. Pasubandhana Yajna actually means, in Vedic times, Pasu means animal, the ego of the animal. Human beings are also animals. Pasubandhana Yajna means you tie your ego, don't allow it to wander, and then you perform actions for the welfare of others. It's a selfless action that is being recommended, Nishkamya Karma. That is the Pasubandhana Yajna. But the word Pasu in the Vedic Sanskrit also meant a goat. So, what our people did? They tied the goat to a pole and then sacrificed it. The Vedas wanted you to sacrifice your ego. You have sacrificed a goat in the name of Veda. The same is happening with other religions. For example, Islam, Bagreed. Eid is sacrifice, Bakra is goat. But Bakra also means ego. They also say that you sacrifice your ego and offer everything what you have for the rest of the community. But there also it has been converted into a ritual. So, Vedic verses are deeply spiritual in the sense of elevating you. So, they are not religious statements, they are not a ritualistic statement, they are spiritual. Why they are spiritual? Rishis understood that this entire universe is filled only with spirit. What is spirit? Spirit is the combo of consciousness and energy. This consciousness and energy is what is the substrate of the entire universe and which is within every being manifested and which is animating everything, the universe as well as the human beings. Therefore, they saw everything as a spiritual being. Therefore, if a person can understand his spiritual nature and grow into his spirituality more and more, he will be gaining power more and more. This was the objective of even today, that is the purpose of the Vedic wisdom. So, the more you are able to gain this wisdom, the more you are going to be powerful and therefore successful. Vedas say a human being has multiple bodies. First is the physical body that we all know, made up of organs, flesh, bone, blood, etc. The second is the vital body, made up of breathing. The physical body is called Deha Sarira, and the breathing body, the vital body, is called Prana Sarira. And the third is the mental body, Mana Sarira. And the fourth is the intellect body, Buddhi Sarira. And the fifth is the will body, Icha Sarira. And the sixth is intuition body. And the seventh is the bliss body. We understand the physical body, but we don't use it fully. We don't even know what its true powers are, how much it can be put to use to. Do we know that we can lift hillock, a hillock, by our hand? People will say it is a magical statement. But Lord Krishna demonstrated it by lifting the Indragiri. Lord Hanuman did it by lifting the Sanjeevagiri. So it is possible. It is possible provided you understand the true power of your body and the true power of your mind, and if you have practiced to use them and you actually use them. Do you know that the capacity of your vision is far more than what you are using? Similarly, the ability to hear. Why some people are able to smell far higher than others? Why some people are able to hear far more than others? That is because the true capacity is very much underplayed in normal human beings. They are capable of much more. We are not using our bodily pressures fully. We find some cricketers playing with so much of great skill, accuracy. How? Obviously, that power is there, and they have been trained to do that. So, it is only a question of knowing and training. Some people are jumping long jump and high jump to such degrees. How is it possible? Unless it is within them. Some footballers are playing so well. How? So these powers are innate and inherent in us, but we don't know. Actually, anybody and everybody can get trained, and do that. But we have to understand that we have that power, and then we have to work on it. So, physical powers we are not using fully. Saint says that we are using less than 50% of our physical powers. Then we will come to the vital body, breath body. We are all breathing without understanding what its true powers are. Do we know that we can very easily live for 120 years with absolute good health, have a hale and healthy life without any problem through regulated pranic exercise? Prana is a very big resource deposited in our body by God. We are misusing it because we don't know how to use it. In fact, but we don't even know that there is something called a prana within us. Like we don't know that we are having a divine energy within us. So, if we are in a position to use the prana well, you can live for 120 years. How the yogis and siddhas lived. It all happens through the process of breathing. We are on an average breathing at about 15 breaths a minute. Do you know it can be brought down to 3 or 4 without affecting your day to day life? And if you know that and work on that and practice that, your health will be totally different. Your life style will be different. Your longevity will be different. Then, when we come to our intellect, we are not using the intellect at all. We are just thinking that we are discriminating things, but we are not. If we use our intellect very well, answers to many of our questions will arise on its own. The poet Kannadasan, when he was asked how he is able to write poems in extempore, once a situation is explained to him, he said that I don't know. My intellect works and it somehow captures the situation and pours out the verses. So, if the intellect is tuned, you will come to know things which you could not have even imagined. That is the power of your intellect. Then, if you come to will, the will is such a powerful power that it will get you all that you want. That is why it is called Icha Sakti. Sage Bhishma had a Icha Mrityu of all the things, the highest thing, Icha Mrityu. He will die only when he wants, only when he wills. That is the power of will. We have heard about Icha Nagas. See, these Puranas, we are thinking as stupid, superstitious, false stories. No, they contain highly esoteric, philosophical, scientific truths couched in a story form. We have to take the scientific truths in it because they say what is humanly possible. But for us, it looks magic. It looks stupid because we have lost touch with our true powers. If you have the will, you have the way. This is a proverb. Have you ever attempted to develop a will to have our way? Truly, will is a divine power vested with you to decide your course of action. Next comes intuition. Intuition is the constant communication to you from the nature and from the indwelling divine spirit. It always tells you you can do like this and succeed. But we are drowned in the mundane affairs, the mundane noise. We don't hear it. But if we are able to tune ourselves to hear it and know that we have such a power, we can use it to a very, very great extent. See, if a person does not know he has two legs, how will he walk? Similarly, if a person does not know that he has a power of intuition, how he will be able to understand and avail the benefits of intuition? Einstein told on the famous equation E is equivalent to mc square that it God revealed to him intuitively. He attributed this to his deep faith in Upanishad because Upanishads have told the power of the intuition. Intuition is something that God, the nature, the indwelling spirit constantly is communicating with you. Then comes the bliss body. The bliss body is trying to make you to be happy always. But people will laugh on hearing this. None of us are happy. But Guruji is telling that God has made us to be happy. How can it be? See, this bliss body has two components. The component one is the ego body or the jiva body. Component two is the Atman body. The ego body is always lacking something. It happiness arises when your desire is fulfilled. Okay, one desire is fulfilled, I am happy for that second, but it is transitory. Another desire comes and I am unhappy until and unless it is fulfilled. So the jiva is happy and unhappy alternately. Why? Jiva doesn't think it is full. It has everything with it: a good body, a good mind, a good intellect, good will, good intuition, and a good divine energy. But still, it doesn't understand it. It thinks that it is lacking something. This sense of lacking something makes a person unhappy. Whereas the upper body, that is the Atman, it feels it is always full. Puranatvam. It is always full. Because it feels it is always full, it is not lacking in anything. It is always happy. So, if only our ego, our jiva can understand that it is actually full, it is complete in all respects, it has all the powers with it, it has the highest physical power, highest intellect power, highest mind power, highest pranic power, highest intuitive power, then why you should be unhappy? The unhappiness arises because it is not aware. First, it has to be made aware. And after being made aware, it has to be trained how to use it. Who will do this? From where this information can be got? Here is where the wisdom of the Vedas comes into the picture. The science of Vedas tells what our physical powers are, pranic powers are, mental powers are, intellect powers are, intuitive powers are, will powers are, and our soul powers are. We have to understand that. Once we understand that, then we will come to equanimity, a stable platform. From that stable platform, you will be able to think and act. Do you know you can move things just by your thought? Science has accepted this and proved this through the process of telekinesis. You can move things, physical things, bulk things through your thoughts. Do you know you can transmit your thoughts to a person at a long distance simply by the medium of ether? Science has accepted and proved it as telepathy. Do you know that you can forevision what is going to happen tomorrow, day after? Science has accepted it as extrasensory perception. There is so much of parapsychology powers that the science has established, accepted, and proven today. These are all with us. We need to understand. Imagine if we are able to control the thoughts of our subordinates and superior, will there be any problem in our professional life? If we are able to will certain things and if it can be implemented without any hurdle, how much successful we will be? It all depends upon our knowing our power and our knowing how to use it and our knowing how to practice acquiring and using that power. Veda contains all these things. Veda tells what the powers are, how to enhance it, and how to use it so that you can succeed in your ventures. Veda is a manual for living, a manual for successful living. It was not declared or made known by God for any religious purpose. It was made known for human good. God wants each one of us to be happy and successful. It is for that reason He declared this manual of life, manual of successful life. Therefore, dear devotees, you have a great opportunity to learn and conduct your life successfully. Imagine, because we are humans, we will be able to try to comprehend this and implement this. If you are born as a lesser being, like any animal, will you be able to understand and practice it? So, God has given us the favor to be born as a human being, and God has given us the second favor of making known the manual of successful living, and it is up to us to learn it, practice it, and succeed in life. May Lord Rishabharuda bless you all to learn the science of Vedas and succeed in life. Om Rishabharuda Parabrahmane Namaha.